But for me, what's even more exciting than how agents are changing the way content spreads is how agents can actually help all of us amplify our reach. AI is really great at helping you scale your content operation. It can help you reach global audiences with translation or translated voiceover or lip syncing video to authentically deliver your message to a
Hmm.
global community without forcing them to read subtitles. We've all seen examples of how AI is great at creating media. We talked about Nano Banana. It's great for
Hmm.
images, avatars, custom B-roll, and this means that teams don't have to rely on stock libraries to tell a story that's really ownable. And AI is really smart at helping you repurpose your content. You can get more out of everything you make. So one of my favorite ways to use the agentic co-editor inside Descript is to give it a long video and have it find the best clips for social, exactly like what you're talking about, Mary. And it's so much easier to scale and repurpose your content with AI so you get more juice out of every asset
Yep.
that you invest in creating. So I think that reach with new audiences, with global audiences, comes from allowing AI to get into the process to help you scale and repurpose.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Vanessa. And Mark, I'd love to turn to you. Um, let's talk a little bit about use cases. So, what are the use cases that you're most excited about as you think about agentic distribution? And, what lessons have you learned along the way that would be beneficial to folks listening in today to the session?
Yeah, totally. I think there is definitely a lot there, and I can empathize. I think with a lot of what has been said so far. I think Ashley and I were at a dinner together. This was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we're literally sat next to each other. And we're like, "Oh my God, you can actually do so many things now, with the Genting distribution and AI." One of the things that I'm very, very excited about is the SDR role. In that sense, like hot take for me is like I don't believe in AI SDRs. I actually think the best sort of like way of handling it is by turning every of yours SDR into superhumans, essentially. And that's like
Hmm.
sort of like what I looked at. We were talking about metrics, is stuff like, can we have them book double the meetings? Like, can they spend 90% less time doing like repetitive tasks and so on and so forth? And I think like the SDR, I started my career as an SDR, like is the hardest job in tech. Like, and it's harder than anything. You're being told no 1,000 times a month.
Hmm.
You're doing the same thing over and over. And so what I did was like taking a bit of, sort of like the Jeff Bezos principle of like he was delivering books the first year of Amazon. And so what I
Yep.
did is I spent an entire week. I have a go-to-market engineer, and so like we spent like so much time sitting with the BDRs, understanding the workflows, and understanding like what are they actually doing. And then you start looking at what are the most successful ones doing like on a daily basis, and what are like the least productive ones doing. And you really realize that a lot of that is like sort of like a lot of yes and no decisions, or like sort of like qualifying and so on and so forth. And it turns out AI is really good at making yes and no decisions. And so it's about like taking like sort of like what if the SDR role didn't exist? And I would be reinventing from scratch. And so it's really about that. It's really about like using AI, leveraging all the tools and so on and so forth, to make their experience better, help them be more successful, and ultimately increase ROI for the company.